Boys, I'm going to show you guys my trade binder. So this is a mix of either valuable cards or, playable cards that I could theoretically trade with someone. No, I don't remember the last time I actually made a trade. um, so the way I have these sorted is colorless is first, and then I have the mythics first, then it's rares slash uncommons. And it goes through each color. And I have like a little sorting scheme. I guess you guys can figure it out, but so on the first page, we just have our colorless. So I want to get one of each. I like the original Eldrazi's, so I want to get the other two. Just haven't done that yet. Not much there. And then yeah, we get into multicolored, and then whatever, you guys can figure out the sorting if you're smart enough. Nothing crazy, just some blue black cards. This is probably my favorite color combo. So I got like some zombies. Nothing crazy though. Guest Lord of Fugue is one of my favorite cards. Back in Shadowmoor, I was building like an unblockable blue deck. So what I would do was I would search Card Kingdom for all of the keywords unblockable, and then I found pretty much all of the best unblockable cards. It's still a pretty good card for Commander. Then we get into blue red. I have nothing crazy. These are some of my brother's cards. He would use this Dominus. That card's kind of crazy. It just steals cards every every upkeep. Not much in blue green. I actually have a lot of Okras, but I think they're in a deck somewhere. Nothing too much to say for the blue green. Geist of St. Traff, that was one of my favorite cards. Unfortunately, it's not that powerful by today's standards, but still a really cool card. Pride of the Clouds was one of my favorites. I had like a cool, flyer build, and he's a good card to put in there because he's a 2-drop that can get pretty big. But I think Skycat Sovereign I think is strictly better. Yeah, they made a strictly better version. It's even got the same types. So black red, not much to say. I really like this. I've had that foil forever. Back in the day, mythic foils were a big deal, and now no one gives a crap. But Dreadbore used to be a really good card. It's still very playable, but it's not worth much anymore. Gitrog's really cool. Black green's one of my favorite color combos. Like back in the day, Creekwood Leech. It's still a really good card. But yeah, when that came out, man, it was busted. Deathrite, I think, is still banned. Hogak is banned. Assassin's Trophy, Maelstrom, Pulse. I know it's hard to tell through all the plastic, but these are all foils. These used to be worth a shitload. Now it's, because of power creep, it's still a good card, but, it's not that special anymore. So we get into black, white. Not too much. Vindicate, I really like that card. When I was a kid, I always wanted those, but they were too expensive for me. Red, green, we got Huntmaster. Still a really cool card. Probably pretty playable in Commander, I would guess. Yeah, I might make a Werewolf Commander deck. Got some Blood Rays, Manamorphous, Red, white. Not much in red, white. Feather's a cool build card. But yeah, Boros, I'm not a huge fan of Boros. I have a ton of green white cards because I always wanted to make these token decks. Now these are all really playable in Commander. But yeah, nothing worth too much in here. Some enchantment cards. Yeah, a lot of enchantments. Then we get into the try 4 or 5 colors. I forgot to mention, I just got these sorted again. It's a trade binder, so, as time moves on, it gets unsorted. So yeah, I got everything sorted, and I basically was getting a bunch of cards I wanted to sell. So I like taking stuff out and getting stuff so I can start selling stuff and getting rid of some of these cards. But what I still obviously have a crap load of cards, but these are like my favorite cards that I don't really want to get rid of. I have a lot of older Shards cards. They're really cool. Rafika's a really cool card. It was climbing up in value, and then they reprinted him. But yeah, a lot of cool Shards cards in this section. Godsire it was such a cool card when it came out. I was like, what the hell? You just tap it and you make 8/8s. Then we go into blue. And by the way, most of my Planeswalkers are in a different binder. I have a random Jason here for some reason. Blue is my favorite color. True Dame Nemesis, when this came out, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, you get protection from a player? So yeah, I bought these. I bought these pretty early on, and they're not worth much anymore because power creep. But still one of my favorite cards. Then we get into some big stupid blue cards. These are foil Omniscience down here. Not worth as much as they used to be, but still pretty cool. Thing on the Ice is a really cool card. Master of Ethereum was one of my favorites when it came out in shards. Yeah, I bought some of these Archmages before it was expensive. But yeah, cool card from Mirrodin. But yeah, a lot of these cards are pretty old because I played when Mirrodin came out. That's when I first started playing. So a lot of the cards I really liked are from that era. Like Sower of Temptation, I think was it Lorwyn? I can't remember the exact set, but I mean this is a reprint. But yeah, we have a lot of really sweet blue cards. Some old Stifles here, old Show and Tell, old Time Warps. This is one of the first cards I bought. I think I got them for $10. I think I still have these receipts on Card Kingdom. Force Negation I just recently pulled. This is gonna be a long video, boys. Some old Propagandas, some old these are Stronghold cards, some old Urza's cards. But yeah, I really like keeping these vintage cards. Yeah, like if the card's a bit older, I usually just don't sell it. Then we get into uncommons. So these are some like blue staples. Nice set of foil delays. Then we get into black. So I actually have a ton of bobs. So I started buying these when the prices started finally coming down. But I caught a falling knife on these. So I still love the cards. I'm not selling them, but yeah, I definitely lost money on some of those old school modern playable cards. Not a big deal though. I love the card. Some mythics here, a lot of commander playables. Then we get into our rares. I just pulled that recently. I really like that card. Nothing crazy here. We got a lot of zombies on this page. I love these Death Barons. Those are really sweet. There's some promo, I forget. But it's crazy how old some of these cards are now. Surgical Extraction used to be a really big card. Entomb's still super playable. These Plunge into Darkness, I think they came up from the very first like theme decks I used to buy. And yeah, I just kept them. I still have them. Reanimate, Profane Tutor, Thoughtseize. And I have a ton of other cards that are in decks, by the way. These are just the unused cards that I like that I don't want to sell. Yeah, some cool old school cards in here. Then we get into uncommons. These Undead War Chiefs are expensive now. So are these Dark Rituals. Yeah, it's just some good classic playable black cards. Then we get into red. I really liked Arclight Phoenix when he came out. But yeah, since he got banned in Modern, right? I think he's still playable in Pioneer. Or Reverse. Or, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, he's not worth too much anymore. Still have some cool dragons and stuff. Moonveil Dragons. Then we get into rares. I love these old Goblin Welders. Vexing Devil was huge when it came out. So is Goblin Guide. But yeah, they're not worth that much anymore. Conspicuous Snoop, when this came out, this is like an M21 card. I thought it was like a really, really cool card. And it's very playable. So it's still a really good card. Some old goblins here that I like. Yeah, I got an original printing Blazing Shoal, original Heat Shimmer. I just really like these old cards, man. I just love looking at them, Some old Blood Moons from Chronicles, old Goblin Lackeys. Yeah, I'm not selling those. Those are worth a pretty penny, but, if it's like an Urza's card, I ain't selling it, Some old school foils here. I'm trying to move them. I mean, there's a lot of plastic, so it's hard to tell. Then we get into green. I have an old school foil Lotus Cobra. That was so, like, when that card came out, I thought it was the most busted crap ever. But now it's like they reprinted it as a rare. And no one cares about foils anymore, which is pretty sad. Same story with the Dark Confidants. I have a lot of Tarmogoyfs. Lost a decent chunk of money on those, but, I just like the cards, so. We got some birds, some foil. I think are those the foil hierarchs? Yeah, those are foil hierarchs. Used to be it's still a very good card, but not as playable as it used to be. Then we got the ignoble Yeah, ignoble hierarchs. Nothing too crazy. Cool fit don card. A lot just there's a lot of playables. Ravnica remastered old school foils. The new throwback foils, they don't look as good as the actual originals, which is kind of funny. Nothing too crazy here, just some playable green cards. I love this card. I remember finding this when I was a kid. Like I was looking for like the biggest dumb creatures. And yeah, just seeing that 13-13, it was insane, dude. Old school summoners pack. This one's a foil. Glimpse of Nature. They used to use that in old school like affinity builds, and I just couldn't afford them. But yeah, once I got some money, that was one of the first things I bought was a playset of those. It's such a cool card, man. Yeah, just some green playables here, nothing crazy. Like I said, I always love these old school Urza's cards. Then we get into white, and nothing crazy here. Baneslayer and Sublime Archangel, when they came out, they were so good. Ionia is still a really strong card in Commander. It's not banned, right? Entreat the Angels, one of my favorite cards. Not as good as it used to be. At this point, I'm a little bit old now. Canonist, Spirit Dancer. Light Pause is a new card, but it's pretty cool. That's the showcase version. Pure Steel Paladin, yeah, Paladin, one of my favorite cards. Voice of the Blessed is pretty cool. I remember when Night Exemplar came out. Yeah, it's just like I thought it was insanely busted. I was like, they should not be printing cards like that. Some good playables. Old school Wrath of God there. Oh, that I did like Tutor foils, really sweet. I like that a lot. Nothing too crazy here, just some uncommons. Artifacts I love. I got a playset of these Platinum Empyreans from a friend. He sold them to me for really cheap. So yeah, I kept the foil. I think I sold the other ones. I have a bunch of Mox Opals. I got some foil Mindslavers here. I really love those old foils. I have a foil sort of Fire and Ice. I think it's somewhere. I think it's in a deck. But yeah, I really love the swords. I have a bunch of them. I just recently pulled this one. That's a retro foil. God, I love those swords, man. Those are so cool. And yeah, with power creep, they're not as playable as they used to be, but excuse me, but they're still very good. Same story with Towergeith and Bob. I have a ton of Ravagers. This was my favorite card. I always wanted to get these when I was a kid, but I just couldn't afford them. Oh man, I love these foils so much, dude. And yeah, not expensive as they used to be. But yeah, I'm telling you, I have so many of these. And I think I have 2 more playsets in decks. Spellskite, cool artifact. Smuggler's Copter. I think this got unbanned, right? Edge Champion was really sweet when it came out. Still a good card. I have a throwback foil on Leveler down there. So these were cards that came out when I was a kid. Memnarch, Mycosynth, Arcbound Overseer. These are list reprints. But when I actually pulled this, I was so happy. I'd still want an original version, but yeah, it's so cool. It just gives all of your artifacts. I think it's artifact creatures. Yeah, it gives everything affinity for artifacts. Soul Ring. My friend found this from it wasn't Goodwill, but it was like the Goodwill of the Goodwills, like the we would call it pound because you would buy it by the pound. Yeah, it was like Goodwill outlet. It's like the place where all the Goodwills just dump all their crap. And somehow he found this, and it's basically near mint. It's crazy old Soul Ring there. And yeah, I've got a ton of artifacts. Nothing too crazy here, though. Quite a Spike, that's a sweet artifact. Then we get into lands. Nothing too crazy. I just have some old school stuff here. Yeah, nothing too crazy back here. I think this is the end of it. Yeah, I just have some lands back here. But yeah, long video, I don't know if I'll get a whole lot of views on this, probably like 10. But I just want to have this on record. It's just, I want to, even if I sell these, at least I have it on video now, and I can always go back and look. Yeah, just a lot of memories in this binder, man. I've been playing for a long time. So I just want to share this with you guys. If anyone stuck around to the end, that's awesome. You're helping out my metrics. But I think that's all I've got to say. So we'll see you guys tomorrow.